this? Where am I at?
The Locals of Icewind Dale, Episode 2, should have been a TPK. Now confess!
I didn't do anything!
Sure you did. You brought in polar bears to save him from a TPK. On top of that, killed the character to bring him back with plot armor when this whole combat could have been avoided if you just listened to the characters.
It wasn't my fault!
Yes it is. Now confess! Confess! Confess!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a new series that I've been thinking about and trying to develop for a while now. It's where I look back on past mistakes that I've made myself to help newerish DMs that are trying to learn or whatever, and they might come up in similar situations. Maybe give them advice or tips to, avoid it in their games. So basically what we're going to do is look back at past events and we critique myself and figure out what I did wrong and explain to you how to fix it, right? So today's video, we're looking back on episode 2 of the Locals of Icewind Dale, where it should have been a TPK, but it didn't happen in that way. And there's reasons why it didn't happen, and there's also reasons why how it could have been avoided altogether. It didn't have to have a combat, but I messed up and caused this whole debacle. Debacle, is that a word? Debacle. And yeah, this is this is my confession. So the biggest problem for me is that as a DM, I get so wrapped up in roleplay, and I have a certain agenda in my mind, how the character or a bad guy, whoever they're talking to, the players are, have a goal, and I get fixated on fixated? Did I say it right? Fixated on what they want and what they want to do, and I kind of lose sight of what the players are saying. So this leads in. So this first clip is all about that. So this leads into tip number 1: always listen to your players. I need to set the tone. So they are looking for, or they've been looking for somebody that named Shallow Wind that they have a bounty for, and he kind of ambushed them, and that's how it set the scene. So this is what happened.
Somebody that you've been looking for a while.
Joder. Do you happen to be this shallow wind that I was been looking for?
Yes.
What kind of stupid name is this?
As I get away with the wind super quick. Anyway, what's the
Shallow
bounty on
wind.
my head for you?
Enough to pay 2 months rent?
And how much is that?
500 gold.
How about I give you 500 gold and you can leave with your life? I would say this though. If you do not, there's about 4 arrows. There's 4 arrows pointed at you right now.
Okay, I take your offer. Normally, I take your head, but I'm feeling generous today. Just, I need something I can bring back, so they take this warrant off of you, this bounty, if you will.
You don't report back. You just go on your merry way.
No. See, I have to report something. I don't get another bounty.
It pulls out a dagger and sticks it right to a vital artery in your leg. He says, "You will continue to go forward and not resist."
But you see, I can't return empty-handed.
That feels like that's your problem. You gonna take my money or live with your life and say you couldn't find me or whatever? I don't care. I just want you off my trail.
I always find my mark. Always.
It sounds like a you problem.
This is problem. Hey,
that-
for you, I could take the money now, then come back after you later. Listen, if you want me to help you, you have to help me. And the only way to do this, I have to bring something back because normally I bring the head. See, so they know what they
You're
bring
definitely
to
not getting
close
my head.
bounty out. Understood, but I have
Find
to
another
bring
drifter and
something.
kill them and take them and claim as me, because nobody knows what I look like.
See, right there is prime example. Like, you gotta listen to your players. There's several times you can tell I was interrupting the player also, and I was not understanding what they were trying to say. And if I just stopped and let the player talk and listened to what they had to say, this whole combat could have been avoided completely. All right, and our next clip that we're going to review of this combat that we had is the point where the party's pretty much already down, or most of the party is almost down, and it's looking real dire. And up until this point, the polar bears that they had on the cart was not involved. I didn't have them in the initiative. And this, I decided on the fly, is like, I didn't want to, kill the whole party or whatever. I'm just going to bring them in to take out a bad guy, which is wrong. So, which leads into the next tip: be consistent with what you're doing.
All right.
These polar bears are now tired of watching everybody fight.
Oh my god.
Attack this guy. That's y'all been friendly to him, right? Y'all been friendly. Yeah, y'all been friendly.
At least like 5 turns, and now they move up.
It's like 30
That
seconds.
doesn't make any sense.
They're like,
As a DM, you got to make the hard decisions. You have to be consistent. You have to be honorable. Is that the word I'm looking for? Or truthful to yourself. If you're not being truthful to yourself and being consistent to the players, it's like they know you're fudging the roles. It's not fair to the players, and it's not fair to the story that you're creating for this world that the players are living in. You have to be consistent with what you're doing. And that's basically the bottom line of that is, because once I implemented the polar bears, you can see TFO, person who's playing TFO, literally says it. He's like, 5 rounds, and they're just not getting part of it. And like, what the heck? So what I should have been doing is just, because they had their own turns. I rolled initiative for them, but I thought the players were gonna be fine. I didn't bother. I just had them sitting there, right? And then the moment I bring the polar bears in is when I lost all consistency. They should have been helping out the whole time if that was the case. So be consistent. It's fair to everybody and yourself. Now, in this clip that we're about to watch is the part where Lagatha actually dies. At this point, like, all the party members are down. The last bad guy, I also, party going back into tip 2, being consistent, I just had them run away. They were low in life anyway, and the rest of the bad guys were down, so it kind of made sense in my head they would just run away. But that's not how the character was designed. It's just, I was also falling back on, I didn't want to create a TPK. So tip number 3, do not be afraid to kill a character or create a TPK.
You check Remy, feel like she's stabilized. You run over to Lagatha, check her. Try with all your might.
oh no.
And not bring her back to life. But as you see, something weird with Lagatha happens. Her body rises and vanishes.
Okay. All right. So the characters in this story, or in this game, since my game is streamed and it's the storytelling, players buy their own miniatures, right? So subconsciously in the back of my mind, I'm already thinking about, oh man, if I kill a character, they pay for their mini, whatever. and it's just kind of like a disservice. And it's only episode 2. Like, what am I thinking? But it takes away from the story and what happened during the fight. Somebody dies, it could be a character building arc for another character. And everybody already goes in this campaign, because I expressed in beforehand, it's like I'm not being true to myself, and also when I'm doing this, it's like their characters are in real trouble. They could die, and they already had this in mind. But for me, I was afraid to kill the characters just for simple fact that they pay for their mini. Even like this, she paid for her mini, and it was not even at my place yet. That's why I'm using a temp token for a couple of the players, because I hadn't received their minis yet. So just this goes for anything really. Don't be afraid to kill a character if the situation dictates it. Don't be afraid to have a TPK if the situation dictates it. If that's how the story went, just follow through with it and be true to yourself. Since you have made it this far into the video, you have made it to the bonus tip. The bonus tip is to do not use the flanking rule. What happened in this battle is like the character is a bounty for 2 of the players, right? So the players were so focused on that one guy. The small guys that only had like 11 or 12 hit points, they didn't target them at all. You don't understand, flanking is when somebody's opposite of your partner and the bad guys in the middle, you get advantage on attack rolls, right? Also, if you're using that roll, it also applies to the bad guys. So what was happening was everybody's so focused on the leader, the bad guy, the bounty, but they were so fixated and focused on that guy that the minions were coming up and giving that guy flanking. He has 3 attacks because he's the stat block of a bandit captain, right? When the minions come up and give the bad, or the, I keep saying bad, but the main guy advantage, he has 3 attacks, advantage, and he's just slowly taking everybody out because he has flanking. This is also part of the player's fault for not realizing that and not taking out the minions, getting them out of the way, because they're taking pop shots with crossbows while the other melees are coming up and giving the other guy flanking. So flanking ruins stuff like pat tactics, ruins combat in my eyes, right? So that's just my bonus tip for hopefully trying to avoid the TPK needlessly. Alright guys, I think I rambled on long enough. I gave my tips and everything. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover in this video. I tend to be long-winded as it is. And links down in the description for Discord, Twitch, all my socials, links to get you some merch. And there's also a wish list down below for Amazon for miniatures. In the Discord, we do giveaways every month. We have a great community, a great people, a great learning section. If you're a new player learning, you got people that are committed to helping new players learn. And as always, love you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video if this helped you out. So we'll see you next time. Peace.
Standing at the cross.